Hey guys, it's Annika, and today I am going to be going over some of the books that I want to read in 2026. So first off, we have Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, Book 2 of the Emily Wilde series, a novel by Heather Fawcett. I'm going to read you the back of the book. I read the first book in 2024 and I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars, and I'm excited to see how this one goes. There is a third book in the series, and I think a fourth might be coming out. I'm not entirely sure, but depending on how I like this book, I'll decide if I'm going to continue the series or not. Just because if you guys watched my wrap up of 2025, I did read the Cruel Prince trilogy. The first book was like a 3 out of 5, the second book was a 2 out of 5, and the last was a 1 out of 5, and I feel like I kind of wasted my time and had a big book slump because of it, because I kept making myself finish it when each book I liked less. So if this book is gonna determine like how much I enjoyed it or not. Because the first was good, I did like it, but it was a 3 out of 5, so this one needs to be at least a 3 out of 5 or better, to see if it's worth investing my time. The second installment in the series is as delightful as the first, upping the danger and the darkness while still retaining all the beauty of the prose. This takes Emily's story to new heights. When mysterious fairies from other realms appear at her university, curmudgeonly Professor Emily Wilde must uncover their secrets before it's too late. In this heartwarming, enchanting second installment of the Emily Wilde series, Emily Wilde is a genius scholar of fairy folklore who just wrote the world's first comprehensive encyclopedia of fairies. She's learned many of the secrets of the hidden ones on her adventures, and also from her infuriatingly charming fellow scholar Wendell Bambleby. Because Bambleby is more than brilliant and unbearably handsome, he is an exiled fairy king on the run from his murderous mother and in search of a back door to his realm. And despite Emily's feelings for Bambleby, she's not ready to accept his proposal of marriage. Loving one of the fair folk comes with secrets and dangers. She also has a new project to focus on, a map of the realms of fairy. And while she is preparing her research, Bambleby lands her in trouble yet again, when assassins sent by his mother invade Cambridge. Now Bambleby and Emily are on another adventure, this time to the picturesque Austrian Alps, where Emily believes they may find the door to Bamblebee's realm and the key to freeing him from his family's dark plans. But with new relationships for the prickly Emily to navigate, and dangerous folk lurking in every forest and hollow, Emily must unravel the mysterious workings of fairy doors and her own heart. So we'll see how I enjoyed this one. Next up, we have A Letter to the Luminous Deep. This is book 1 of the Sunken Archive. I'm not sure if book 2 is out yet or not. It is by Sophie Catherall. A gleaming treasure chest full of romance and curiosity. My dear E. So I'll just show you that this book is entirely composed of letters. There's you're just reading letters to and back from people. Like, there's nothing in here that isn't a letter, so I really like that. I have read a little bit of it. My dear E, I have thought of nothing else but you and your letter over the past day or so, and I do not intend to start thinking of anyone else anytime soon. A shimmering, delicately crafted delight of a book. E is content with a solitary life in her extraordinary underwater home until the discovery of a strange, beautiful creature outside her window prompts her to begin a correspondence with her renowned scholar, Henry Clow. The letters they share are filled with passion, at first for their mutual interests and then inevitably for each other. But when a mysterious seaquake destroys E's home, she and Henry vanish. A year later, E's sister Sophie and Henry's brother, Viren, must piece together the letters, sketches, and field notes left behind and learn what their siblings' disappearances might mean for life as they know it. A Letter to the Luminous Deep is one of the most charming and original debut novels you'll read this year. Full of everything I adore, nosy and loving families, romance, and anxious scholars doing their best to meet the world with kindness, caught me up on a wave of whimsy and swept me away with its charm. A story to be cherished. Like nothing I've read before, a novel that is once deeply human and mind-bogglingly imaginative. Readers looking for heartwarming romance and scholarly mystery will be charmed. A fascinating and charming story told in a uniquely elegant voice. A strange wonder. Next up, we have The Lost Bookshop by E.V. Woods. How far will you go to find your story? And I know there's a second one to this. I'm not sure if it's just a duology or not, but I know that there is a second book. On a quiet street in Dublin, a lost bookshop is waiting to be found. For too long, Opaline, Martha, and Henry have been the side characters in their own lives. But when a vanishing bookshop casts its spell, these three unsuspecting strangers will discover that their own stories are every bit as extraordinary as the ones found in the pages of their beloved books. By unlocking the secrets of the shelves, they find themselves transported to a world of wonder where nothing is as it seems. Next up, I have The Floating Girls by Lo Patrick. This one I heard is a similar experience to Where the Crawdads Sing, which I liked. The backwaters of Georgia hold many buried secrets, but they won't stay buried forever. One hot, sticky summer in Bledsoe, Georgia, 12-year-old Kay Whitaker stumbles upon a stilt house in a neighboring marsh and upon Andy Weber, a boy about her age. He and his father have recently moved back to Georgia from California, and rumors of the suspicious drowning of Andy's mother years earlier have chased them there and back. Kay is fascinated and enamored with Andy, and she doesn't listen when her father tells her to stay away from the Webbers. But when Kay's sister goes missing, the mystery of Mrs. Weber's death and Kay's parents' potential role in it comes to light. Kay and her brothers must navigate the layers of secrets that emerge in the course of the investigation as their family and the world they know it unravels around them. The Floating Girls is a wonderfully atmospheric southern novel that will appeal to readers of Where the Crawdads Sing. At once wickedly funny and heartbreaking, it is an immersive coming-of-age story narrated by a feisty, smart, yet undeniably vulnerable girl reminiscent of a modern-day Scout Finch, a character who will live in readers' hearts for a long time to come. Fans of Where the Crawdads Sing love this immersive mystery set against the salty air of Georgia's marshes. So this kind of is a lot to live up for. So that's why I'm a little worried that I'll be disappointed, because I get it, but also it's not a great idea to compare something to like a really popular well-loved book, because I feel like it just builds you up for disappointment. But like I get also why they did that to get you to read it, so I'm just like, in my head, I'm knowing that like it might just be a 3-star read. I'm not expecting it to be as good as where the crowd's saying, because I feel like if I expect that, I'm gonna be disappointed. But I'm hoping, like, it sounds really good, but if that makes sense, I'm just being like, this could be like a 3 or 4 star, maybe 5 star, but I'm not being like, oh, this is gonna be my next 5 star, because I feel like if you do that, you could be like really let down. Next up is 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. So if you have read Leigh Bardugo, please let me know in the comments below, because this is a duology. There's this, and the second book is Crooked Kingdom. Now there's also a trilogy by the same author. That the first book is Shadow and Bone. The Shadow and Bone trilogy. So my question for you guys is, can I read 6 of Crow duology first? Can I read this? Or do I need to read this 3-book trilogy before I can read this? Because I think it was on Reddit or something. I didn't deep dive, but somewhere I like glanced and saw that someone said, and I'm not sure, like, I need to look into it more. That's why this book looks really good. Like, I would just read it, but I'm scared because I think I remember hearing someone say that you need to read this trilogy before you can read this duology, because once you read this, it'll like spoil this or ruin this or something. And the thing is, this doesn't look like that. I'm not really excited to read this book because it doesn't really look like my thing. But my friend got me this trilogy and this duology, so like I'm obviously gonna read them. But I just want to start reading this now. It looks really good, but I'm afraid that I might have to read this trilogy first. So if you guys could let me know below if you know whether or not, if you've read this author before. I do need to look more into that though, because this isn't something that I would have bought, but my friend got it for me. Same with this one. This one does look really good. I've heard good things about it. It's not that this looks bad, but this isn't really something I usually read. And so going into this knowing like I have to read 3 books in this series, and that like if I don't like them, I still have to read them because I have to then read this. That's why I haven't read these, because it's just a lot of like, I don't know. So, and let me know how you liked them if you read them. But I'll read you about 6 of Crows because I really want to read this. Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price. And no one knows that better than criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he can't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for knowledge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heart-render using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kaz's crew are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. So, there's this. And then we have A Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. Mesmerizing from the first page to the last, Winter Garden is that rarest of novels, at once an epic love story and an intimate portrait of women poised at the crossroads of their lives. Evocative, lyrically written, and ultimately uplifting, it will haunt the reader long after the last page is turned. How can a woman know herself if she doesn't really know her mother? Meredith and Nina Whitson are as different as sisters can be. One stayed at home to raise her children and manage the family business. The other followed a dream and traveled the world. But when their beloved father falls ill, these 2 estranged sisters will find themselves together again, standing alongside their icy, enigmatic mother, Anya, who now offers no comfort to her daughters. On his deathbed, their father extracts a promise of his wife. Anya will tell her daughters a story, It is a fairy tale she began years ago and never finished. This time she will tell it all the way to the end. The tale their mother tells them is a captivating, mysterious love story that spans more than 60 years and moves from frozen war-torn Leningrad to modern-day Alaska. Nina's obsession to uncover the truth behind the story will send them all on an unexpected journey into their mother's past, where they will discover a secret so shocking, so terrible, it shakes the foundation of their family and changes who they believe they are. So, is that. And I think I should try to read this in winter because it's like a winter looking read. And next up, we have The Giver of Stars by Georgia Myers. This book is about, in Kentucky, I believe it's in around the 1800s, Kentucky, just think early 19th century Kentucky, and it's in very rural country, where people don't really leave that rural area. Like, it's very middle of nowhere, and a lot of the women there don't know how to read, and they don't have access to books. Like, there's not an easy way. Like, they're hours and hours away from places. They're not just gonna go there and get a book, and a lot of the women there don't know how to read. And it's a story of this traveling librarian who rides horseback up these like crazy Kentucky miles in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, and she teaches women to read, and she brings them different books, and it's like a story of women helping women, and the magic of books, I guess is a way for me to describe it. So I'm looking forward to reading that. It looked pretty good to me. Next we have The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. And this book is it's about 4 different women's stories who lived through the Great Dust Bowl, the Great Depression. And yeah, it's their stories. So it's all about like the Great Depression, and it's just really moving, their stories, which I'm interested in because I have family who lived, obviously everyone has family who lived through the Great Depression, but I had family who lived in the Dust Bowl during the time, who I don't know much about, so I'm interested to read the story knowing that like their stories may be close to what some of my family went through and experienced. Just to read more about the time period too. And the last book we have is very popular. So it's Fourth Wing. So Fourth Wing is not a book that I would be compelled to read. Just not really my thing. But my best friend, same as the Shadow and Bone trilogy and the Crooked Kingdom trilogy, my friend did get this for me. This is my friend's her number one favorite book of all time. And so she's been wanting me to read this for like 2 years, and every time we talk, have you read Fourth Wing yet? And I feel bad, so I need to read it. It's just normally not something I'd read, and I'm hoping I like it, because if I don't, you know what I mean? And I do have the first book and the second book. I don't have the third one. She gave me the first 2, and I'm not gonna get the third one unless I really love them. But yeah, I haven't read it. It's a really big book. I just don't know if I'll like it or not, but it's been 2 years since she gave it to me, so I really need to read it. It just, if there's a book that you normally wouldn't think you'd like, and it's massive, and you have a baby and you don't have much time, and you have other, like, that's kind of why I haven't read it yet, but I need to read it. So Fourth Wing, the most brutally addictive fantasy I've read in a decade. If you guys read it, let me know how you liked it. A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead. Anyone else feel like changing their minds? Aiden shouts, scanning the remaining rows of cadets with the same shrewd gaze of the navy blue dragon behind him. No? Excellent. Roughly half of you will be dead by this time next summer. The formation is silent, except for a few untimely sobs from my left. A third of you again the year after that, and the same your last year. No one cares who your mommy or daddy is here. Even King Tori's second son died during the threshing. So tell me again, do you feel invincible now that you've made it into the Riders' Quadrant? Untouchable, elite? No one cheers. Another blast of heat rushes, this time directly at my face, and every muscle in my body clenches, preparing for incineration. But it's not flames, just steam, and it blows back Rhiannon's braids as the dragons finish their stimulus exhale. The breeches of the first year ahead of me darken, the color spreading down his legs. They want us scared. Mission accomplished. Because you're not untouchable or special to them. Zayden points toward the navy dragon and leans forward slightly like he's letting us in on a secret as we lock eyes. To them, you're just the prey. Enter the brutal and elite world of War College for Dragon Riders from New York Times bestselling author Rebecca Yarros. 20-year-old Violet Soaringale was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, also known as her toughest talent's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of cadets striving to become the elite of the Navarre Dragon Riders. But when your body is smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away because dragons don't bond to fragile humans. They incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Satan Ryerson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders' Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are failing, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone at Vazgaith War College has an agenda, because once you enter, there are only two ways out: graduate or die. So we will see about that one. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of those books, and if you did, how you liked them. And I will see you in my next video.